Welcome back to the second session of the tutorial. So in this session we'll be talking about how to properly prepare your vessel manifest. This is the raw file that we have. Here we have the ship ID, the voyage number and the rest of them, and this is what we hope to achieve, which is here. Like I mentioned earlier, I've already copied the headers, I've already duplicated the sheet, and now I have a new sheet here, and I've already filled up some of the information. Here is the vessel name, the voyage number, the port of discharge, port of load, and the BL number. So where I want to go next is the cargo ID. Like in the case of the container vessel, we made some. I explained that the cargo ID is the same thing as the container number, and for vehicle, the cargo ID is the same thing as the chassis number. So we just go to the chassis number. So I will copy the chassis number and paste on the cargo ID. The remaining part of the fields I've already explained that. So here we have the operator code, we have the shipper name, we have the shipper address, consignee name, consignee address, notify name, notify address, and the next one we have here is import or export, which is basically import. So I just duplicate that. What we have next is the BL cargo description. I've already mentioned earlier that the BL cargo description is where you write the description of the cargo. So in this case of vehicle, it can contain the vehicle name, the make, the year, and whatever information that can easily identify it. And in most cases, it can contain the chassis number. So I'll just copy it here. And the cargo type here we have vehicle. So what next is the chassis number. The chassis number, like I mentioned earlier, is the same thing as the cargo ID. So I'll just copy the cargo ID and paste in the chassis number. Like I also said earlier, the chassis number can be as much as up to 50 characters. Then the vehicle model. The vehicle model, in most cases, what you have in the vehicle model is the year. So in this case, I'll just fill in the gap. After that, we have the condition of the car. Is it a used car or a new car? And this particular column, like the import-export column, only takes two values, only takes two options, either new or used. So in this case, what we have here is new. So everything here is new. I will just copy it and paste here. Now the next column, which is the vehicle classification, this is where you enter the classification of the vehicle. So the vehicle classification is where you enter if it is a car, if it is a van, if it is a plant, if it is a truck, or if it is a truck. So this particular column works hand in hand with the vehicle CPM. So whatever CPM you enter here is what the system will automatically calculate it and fill in this column, just like we have in the container type, class type, and the rest of it, and the container size. So this vehicle CPM determines this column. So I'll just keep that and go to the vehicle weight. From the information we have here, this is the vehicle weight. I'll copy it. Paste it here. The next one is the vehicle CBM. I'll copy it. So let's come back to the vehicle classification. Here the CBM will have 202. So from the CBM available here, let's say this one is a plant. This one is also a plant. The rest we have here, let's assume they are cars, since they have a CBM of 12. I just fill in the blank. Another value, another column that is very important is the subcargo column and the subcargo quantity column. Now it is assumed that normally any container that is coming or any vessel that is coming, the value here is always load, since it's assumed that it is carrying another vehicle or another content or another load on it. So when the value here is load, the subcargo quantity becomes 1. And now we have a case of when the information has been verified and we know that the vehicle is empty. So what we have here will be empty, and the value here becomes 0. So in some other cases where we have where it has been verified that the vehicle carries maybe one car on top of it, then what you have to do here is enter the car's chassis number, which we will copy here. Let's assume it carries this car, a Suzuki vehicle. We enter the chassis number here, and after entering the chassis number, it is very important that you enter hash at the end of the chassis number. So in this case, the subcargo quantity becomes 2, because it is a car or it is a vehicle that is carrying another vehicle. So let me specify again. After entering the chassis number, you enter hash. This hash is very important for the system to identify that there is another vehicle on it. So in a case where we have 2, where we have two vehicles. Maybe it carries this one. You specify, you put another hash again, and it carries a second one with this. And you always end it with a hash. So in this case, the system now identifies that this particular vehicle is carrying two extra vehicles. So, and the value here becomes 3. In a case where we have more than that, in a case where we have 3, you enter it. After the second one, you copy the third chassis number, paste at the end, and enter hash. So in this case, we have 3 hashes. That means the vehicle is carrying extra 3 vehicles, and this value here becomes 4. So in this case, we have 4 vehicles. The original one, which is 1 on itself, and 3 extra. That is why we have 3 hashes here. And with the help of the hashes, the system will easily identify the number of vehicles, and it will be able to quickly raise invoice or calculate based on what you enter here. So if you enter an invalid, maybe there is no hash here, and you just enter 2 chassis number together, the system will assume it's only one chassis, is only one vehicle that is there. If you enter space, the system will not load it, or rather it will return an error. If you enter any other value to separate it, the system will not load it, rather it will return an error. But in order for you to avoid such error, you must always add the hash to separate vehicles. So I'll just copy and paste to fill in the blank. So I will fill in the blank in this case. So far, this is all the headers has been filled. I would like to save my file, just like I mentioned earlier. Save as. Sage, ABS, Suprema, the voyage number 00548, vehicle manifest. I'll just go to my other sheet and delete. So here we have a sample vehicle manifest that has been prepared. One thing you need to understand is that while preparing this, you need to be extremely careful so that all the values you've entered are accurate. Because in a case where you have errors, the system will not load it, but the system is so intelligent that it will tell you, okay, this is where you have errors, this is where you need to correct, and this is where you need to make changes. So all your headers must be the same. All your headers must meet the convention of the system, must meet the standard that the system has specified. There is no spaces, rather use underscores. So that is the end of our tutorial on how to prepare your manifest properly. See you in the next video. Thank you.